Hi there, my name's Josh. I work as a temp, storeman, labourer, jack of all trades, master of none, I suppose. So when I was about four, um, I was out with my family and we were getting dropped home one night. A family friend, he didn't realise I was behind the car, um, and he backed up his car, reversed out the drive. The car knocked me to the ground. I just remember waking up in the back of the car. My mum had a towel. She'd wrapped my head up, and I was in hospital for a wee while. My second head injury I'd had was playing rugby. I was on the wing, and I'd offloaded to someone. Someone had come from the flankers side on the other team, and they'd come in to block my tackle. By the time I looked up, it was lights out. I'd hit the ground, dislocated my shoulder, fractured my clavicle, and I was unconscious. And next thing I remember, a teammate picking me up and pulling me off. And basically, I was like, "What's the number of that bus?" Yeah. The symptoms I struggle with now is emotional regulation, concentration, fatigue. I get quite fatigued. I have a few other health problems too, but those are the main ones: is concentration and fatigue. Um, yeah, and that's been a bit of a mission for me. Well, the journey so far with employment, getting into employment and keeping employment, has been very difficult to say the least. There's a comorbid thing with other health conditions going on. And so dealing with the head injury, I've often had to really discipline myself to get enough sleep early. So on a work night, I'll definitely be in bed and try and go to sleep before 9 o'clock, just because I really need the sleep, and I have the sleep apnea mask. So I have to go through a whole routine, and I have to maintain a routine so that I can be the best I can for the following day, and give my employer the best that I can do. Some of the things I've found going back to work and staying in work hard is often um, s- not necessarily the work. Once I get my head around it and I get into a routine of doing it, that's fine. Sometimes it's people things, and sometimes people are the hardest. So people's perceptions, communication with people, how people perceive me, people's misunderstanding or anything like that. That's often been the biggest challenge. How's it made me feel? Well, it decreases my self worth as a person because I still have feelings, and I've got feelings, and just like anyone, it can make you feel like you're stupid or you're undervalued, or it could sometimes, and it's no fault of people's own. They just get things wrong without actually getting to know you as a co-worker. The steps I've had to take is to be more aware. I did have a good employer that allowed me to get DBT therapy through the local CMH. And even though a lot of it went over my head, I found that just if I stop, think and reflect, and try and put myself in the other person's shoes, it's often very hard to do that. But and so doing, it's helped me to just to try and understand a little bit what the task is and what's expected for each role and each job that I have to do for the day. Oh yeah, emotional regulation and admitting that I have had an injury is very difficult because I mean everyone's got their dignity and their pride. So um, yeah, saying that to a lot of people will either a brush it off and go, "Oh, that's nothing," I've had a bump on the head, or some people will go, "Okay, what planet's this guy come from? He just stepped out of a spaceship or something." Or some people will be cool. They'll be cool, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's okay," and they'll give you some good suggestions. So everyone, people are all different. Everybody's so different, and often how people react is a big thing as well. Anyone that's struggling with emotional regulation and scared to ask for help because they may look foolish or stupid, or they may be embarrassed. There's a lot of I know people got their pride and their dignity, so there's nothing wrong with asking for help. It's not a weakness; it's actually a strength. So you're being um, honest with your own capabilities, and it's actually supportive of the business, so they can know what they're getting and what to expect. And basically, everyone has a different work style and a learning style. Some can just be told something, they'll get it like a computer, or some have to be shown, or some have to write it down. Even keeping, I found pieces of paper, just write stuff down. That's personally worked for me. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help, advocacy, support, and just letting people know um, that you've had a head injury. That there's could be other health issues as well. You've got to try and well, I've found I've got to try and find the right time to talk to people, not when they're busy doing something that may be a quiet time, and just go say, "Hey, can I just have a word with you? Look, I struggle with doing this. It's because da 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 da." Some people will be really cool and they'll be understanding, but some people can be jerks, and they can be real hard about it. And oh well, that's nothing. That's happened to me, or I know someone that's happened to, and they're fine. So it's just getting over that initial fear of what other people think. Really, yeah, just be yourself and just find the right time to talk to the person, because they may have other stuff going on, like be stressed with their job or whatever they've got. So, yeah, just talking to them and saying it in a polite way, being respectful, that always helps.